Tuesday, June the 2nd, and I'm going to call on Eric Bondar to give us an invocation.
Let's pray. Most kind of gracious Heavenly Father, God, thank you for the day. God, thank you, Lord, for your grace and for your mercy, God, that we rely on each and every day. God, thank you, Lord, for our public safety, God, our police officers, our fire. Lord, we thank you for all that they do and all that they contribute. Lord, I pray you protect them, guide them, and lead them. Lord, we thank you for the citizens of this town. Lord, I pray God you guide them and help them and protect them. Death that's in our families, God, this week, we pray that you would comfort them. Lord, we pray for our council here, God, to give us wisdom and discernment, God, to make the decisions, God, we need to make. Lord, for the town hall to make the decisions they need to make. We thank you for all that you do and all that you're going to do, and we ask you, Lord, to bless us in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. And I ask Kimberly Brown to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to say welcome to everyone who came out to visit with us tonight, and we're sometimes when we have this budget in years past, nobody comes, so we're glad to see everyone who now the consent agenda is the approval of the minutes. So that's the first order of business, to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to accept the
Second.
Motion's been made and a second. Is there any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed to that, if like sign, no one is opposed. And now, during the public comment period, you're all invited to come forward and the agenda. We need a motion to approve the agenda with the change, adding 1A right after budget amendment and special presentation. Patrick Creech is here with the county, so he's going to make the presentation. So,
Motion to adopt the agenda with the addition of 1A. Second.
motion's been made and seconded. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
That is so important. So, I'd like to read to you. This is an opportunity at the public comment period for members of the public to express items of interest to the mayor and council. And this is not a time to respond or act. Any necessary action will be taken under advisement. Speakers are asked to use proper decorum and limit comments to no more than 3 minutes. So it's open now for people to come and speak, if you will. Okay, seeing no one. Okay, we'll just state your name so that the clerk will have it on record.
Nancy Garner.
You get that?
Yes, sir. Are you coming with me? Okay, I'm coming home. Okay, there's just a couple of things I want to address. First of all, it's about the taxes. I hear we want to go up on our taxes based on our services. Based on our services, I feel we have a lot of services. I feel like the services we have, this is just my view, maybe everybody doesn't feel the same, but it's becoming more of a hassle to get things done. When you call for something, you get lots of somebody out to look at. Or they don't even bother to ride up your street from maybe possibly coming to the last meeting and getting some repercussions from you. But with that being said, I'm very upset over some other things. I don't think it's town policy for a town manager to say, I took your name around town and you're not a good fit for a position in town. I have never been told that in 35 years, or 65, I wish I was 35. And with that being said, I always looked up to Tattersall. I always thought Tattersall was good. I look back at Scrabble Watts, Robert Duncan, Guy Barrier, David Ogle, and he treated the citizens with respect. With that being said, I'd like for it to go back that way. We should be able to have them, agree to disagree. I'm looking at the time. I don't think we got that anymore, and that's sad. I don't know if it's just I'm figured out because I have said something, but I think it's very poorly if that's what our town council does. They send the manager out and say, hey, do you know this person? And they may say, yes, you know somebody that did something, so that doesn't make her a good fit. I think that's being judgmental. And out of all the mayors I just named, we never had that. We had some good younger people. With that being said, I do disagree with the taxes, especially the way the services are being handled at this time. I would like to thank Aaron for coming down with my mother's grave. It's a little bit off when we're trying to figure that one out. And Mike, thank you. Your buddies are in our neighborhood. You're doing a great job. Appreciate it. So with that being said, I thank you for my time. So I've got about 30 seconds, but I'm going to end it there and we're going to bring some back to the house. And you all take what I said, please, in consideration, because when I feel like an outsider comes in and judges me with the town, I have a problem with that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jason, let me know this one. Come on, Larry.
Good evening.
And just state your name so that you can do it.
Greg Foster, I come to you from the north of the community. I've heard some rumors, and from looking at the budget, I think they are rumors and they're false, but I wanted to address them anyway. It's my understanding that there was some discussion amongst the council and the mayor during budget sessions to reduce the police force. I encourage you not to do that. I feel like Mike and his staff are working hard. If you're on social media and you see the police department's Facebook page, they're making arrests like crazy because crime rate is through the roof all over the United States. But here in Taylorsville, it's not quite like Taylorsville anymore. We have a huge homeless population, we have a huge drug problem. But just to throw some stats at you that I have, in April of 2025, the police department answered 968 calls. In April of 2026, they answered 1,379 calls. May of 2025, they answered 999 calls. May of 2026, they answered 1,319 calls. They can't stand a reduction in force. You need more than one officer on the road. You need more than one officer on a call. It's not safe this day and time for one officer to be out there working the street by himself. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, so there's no one else, and we'll just close that public comment period. Of course, we are going to have a public meeting for the budget, but we'll go to item number 1, which is the budget amendment for special presentation. Nathan, do you want to talk about that?
Yes, sir. This is a proposed budget amendment to take some of the proceeds from the capital asset sale of our former urgent care property and transfer that to the Taylorsville Development Alliance, which is a 501c3 nonprofit that the town established with the purpose of conducting economic development projects on behalf of the town and in partnership with the town and our small business community and commercial community within the town to be able to increase the economic vitality of the community and provide a better quality of life for our citizens, but also improve the business climate and the business community within the town. So I would like to propose that we transfer $150,000. We send that to the Taylorsville Development Alliance from the sale of urgent care as an initial funding source for that organization to be able to start several different projects in part of the town to start this economic development
health care to present to the TDA, Little Lines, for economic development.
Second.
Motion been made and a second. Is there discussion or questions at this point? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign.
Opposed.
You got that, Nicole, recorded? Okay, thank you. 1A is Patrick Creek.
Remember, just for a second, we do have a check that I'll give to technical outlines, so y'all can be able to take a picture with them.
Maybe squish more.
Thank you, Council. I'll keep this brief, because I know you have a lot of very important stuff, but I wanted to talk to you about the walk-in bike Alexander County plan that was adopted by the county yesterday at the county meeting. It is a long-term vision and strategic roadmap for improving safety and creating more connectedness, especially for cyclists and for pedestrians, which is extremely important here in town. It serves as a guide for physical infrastructure improvements, and it was made with a grant from the DOT and developed by a planning group called the Adams, which is a very distinguished planning group. This is an excellent plan that guides a long-term strategy for the county, but if you look, you will see that there is a significant amount of this plan that actually focuses on the town of Tazewell, which is why I wanted to bring this to you. I brought you all copies, so if y'all could, and I'm sorry I don't have this report for you, but if you could go to page 72 in this, I want to highlight just a few things for you. Starting on page 72, you will see that there's a list of priority projects. These are the things that, based off of public input and based off of the scoring rubric that we had to choose, they thought that should be the focus. Now, this doesn't mean that these will be necessarily always outlays for town. This is for grant funding or for the DOT to look at. DOT always looks to see whether or not you have an adopted plan for improving certain safety measures. So having this in place hopefully will help us to get some money to create some of these bikeable shoulders, these greenways, and these sidewalks. So you will see that priority project 1 on NC16, which is from Walmart up to Main Street. Again, that's a Taylorsville project. Project 2 is Lila down the road sidewalks is a priority project. And then priority project 5, NC90 for the golf course or downtown is another one of the priority projects, as is priority project 6. So a significant portion of this actually focuses on Taylorsville because there is a lot of need for sidewalks and improved activity. So I'm here to answer any questions. This is a plan that you can adopt if you so wish. You don't have to do so at this meeting. You probably haven't had time to look over it yet, but it is something you can adopt. It's not required. The county already has. But I appreciate any input that some of you all have given, serving on planning committees and writing some feedback and listening to sermons.
Are these projects, listed as priority 1, 2, 3, 4? Are they listed in order of what they feel the priority need is in the community?
I believe that that's the way that they ranked it. The first priority was, which is the Walmart, to make sure that the number one area where we have to be walking
Right.
with no real safe way to do so. So I do believe that those are stored that way.
And these are all DOT projects.
Yes, I do believe so.
And if we don't pass it, then DOT will be very favorable to go on the way.
Well, the county's already passed it, so you aren't required to. That is the purpose of this. When DOT is going to do some road improvements, they look to see if these plans exist, and if, say, a plan calls for a bike with shoulders when it didn't exist before, or an improved crosswalk where it didn't exist before, then they might not put it in. They might just keep it the same way. This is, hopefully getting some of the money that often goes to a lot of the surrounding communities to come here to improve those safety things.
If you want to. Yes, make a motion.
It wasn't on the agenda, it had been on the agenda. I'm not sure.
We amended it, didn't
We amended it.
Yes, we have. I make the motion that we adopt the Walk and Bike Alexander County plan.
And I second that motion.
Motion been made in a second. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? No one is opposed to it. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Okay, so, item number 2 is, we're establishing a public hearing on August the 4th at 5:30, for public comment regarding this annexation. Nicole, do you want to make any comments about this?
No, I just presented the certification of sufficiency, and it just needs to be established a public hearing is the next step.
Make a motion, we establish a public hearing.
Second.
Motion's been made and a second. Is there any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed, like sign? No one is opposed, so we're going to establish a public hearing on August the 4th. Nicole, you can comment on this if you'd like to, and that's submitted by LaDonna Castigana and on behalf of Keever Carpentry.
Correct, it's the same thing, just establishing a public hearing is the next step for the parcels on our road. Make a motion that we, have a public hearing.
Second.
Motion's been made and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed, like sign? No one is opposed. So we go to this contract with Western Piedmont Regional Transit, better known as Greenway, I guess you would say. So Nathan?
Yes, sir. This is our annual contract with the Greenway Service to renew our service contract with them. We do have this within our budget every year, and this just reestablishes the service for to continue for another year, and establishes that the town will pay the additional $1,500 so that passengers within the town that take advantage of the Greenway service can do so.
Make a motion, we accept the contract.
Second.
Motion been made in a second. Is there any more discussion, questions, comments? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? No one is opposed. So next we have a planning board appointment. Nathan, do you want to talk about
Yes.
William Mitchell?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mitchell's term on the planning board is up. He has communicated that he wishes to continue to serve as a town representative on the Alexander County Planning Board. So I recommend that we reappoint Mr. Mitchell to the planning board for another 3-year term.
Make a motion that we reappoint William Mitchell to the planning board.
Second.
Motion been made in a second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No one is opposed. So Nathan, would you please talk to us about the school resource officer agreement?
Yes, sir. Currently have an agreement between the town of Taylorsville and our police department and the Alexander County Sheriff's Office for school resource officers at one at Taylorsville Elementary School and then one that is split between the Student Success Center located near the high school and the early college. This is a new interlocal agreement where the county and I and the police chief and the sheriff have been communicating and negotiating over the last few months to where the Taylorsville Police Department will take back over control of the school resource officer position for Taylorsville Elementary School. So we would need to redo this contract, this interlocal agreement that we would still contract with the Alexander County Sheriff's Office to provide that SRO position at the Student Success Center and at the early college, and that we will, the town will pay for 100% of the actual cost for that school resource officer that is not covered through any type of federal or state grant and reimbursement from the Alexander County School. And I recommend that we approve this interlocal agreement as we'll be adding another school resource officer to our ranks and being able to provide that service to the people.
Motion to adopt the agreement.
Second.
Motion's been made in a second. Any more comments, questions, or if no discussions?
I would like to make a
Okay.
comment. I would like to thank Mike for his hard work and diligence in recruiting and retaining officers so we could put an officer back at Taylorsville Elementary.
If no other comments, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. No one is opposed to that. So, Aaron White, would you talk with us about the water shortage response plan?
Sure. So before you is a revised draft. The initial draft was given to you on April 17th. It is just an amendment to what was already there in place. It states in policy that we will, anytime we have an amendment or revision, that we'll publicize it for 30 days prior to the adoption. So this is, that 30 days has passed. The only real change to it was just listing Mr. Esther as the town manager, replacing mine from the previous policy or plan. And there was a couple of topographic words in the other one that we addressed and fixed. Other than that, it's the same plan, it's the same guidelines. If we have any issues, of course, we're currently under stage 2 mandatory restrictions due to the drought conditions. So, as part of the state guidelines, they ask you to review every so often, make sure everything's up to date, and if approved tonight, then this will be uploaded to the state's website for review and publication on their website.
Need a motion for that.
Make a motion to approve the water shortage response plan.
Motion's been made and a second. Is there any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. No one is opposed. So we need a motion to go into a public hearing for the proposed budget.
Make a motion to go to the public hearing.
Second.
Motion's been made in a second. Any more discussion about that? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No one is opposed. So we're in a public hearing now. regarding these comments, I guess, Nathan, if you will lead the discussion.
Yes, sir. For the fiscal year 26-27 budget, the total budget is just under $6.9 billion to include pass-through grants. This represents a 16.7% increase from the prior year, which is driven by increased ad valorem revenue, necessary fund balance appropriations for capital improvements, and consistent increases in local sales tax collections that we see year over year. Our estimated motor vehicle evaluations have grown from 7% to 17.5 million. To sustain adequate services, I recommend and propose a 6-cent tax increase, setting the municipal rate at 41 cents per $100 valuation. It is proposed that this 6-cent tax increase would be set aside within our ordinance as allocation to the municipal fire tax to the Central Taylor Fire Department. 35 cents per $100 of assessed value will go to fund the remaining departments of the town and the general fund. Despite this adjustment, our tax rate remains highly competitive and lower than surrounding municipalities. Historically, you can see our budget has grown over the last 12-year period to $6.9 million. You see in 2021, a large increase due to inflation costs and COVID at 14.2%, and our budget steadily increased over those years due to operational expenditures. Our general fund is balanced at $3.7 million, supported by our ad valorem taxes, local sales taxes, and utility franchise distributions. Our general fund budget does include $674,373 of fund balance appropriations, which is restricted strictly to capital projects, which preserves our operational stability on our annual revenues from our ad valorem taxes and our sales tax. Expenditure growth drivers year after year. Due to state law and some other regulations, you can see that our law enforcement retirements increased 21.2%, which I do think is a value benefit to law enforcement officers across the state for their service to the communities. Streets and sanitation service increases at 13.7%. The fact that we're going to attempt to conduct a parks and recreation master plan this year, the plan for the recreation department expansions and our amenities within the community, and providing our staff with a 2.5% cost of living adjustment. The overall 34% increase in general fund expenses is primarily dictated by state retirement mandates, rising contractual waste disposal fees, master planning, and employee retention adjustments. Our police department fully covers our town 24/7, 365. We are adding a new school resource officer this year at the elementary school. And our capital strategy within our police department is to continue to acquire high-quality used patrol vehicles directed to prevent deferred capital replacement issues. Within our budget, we do have $60,000 budgeted for a new police car. The police chief and I have been working diligently over the last several months to look for used patrol vehicles that are still in outstanding condition with low mileage, that don't have a lot of wear and tear on them to limit the financial impact and burden to the town, to our budget on purchasing new vehicles. Funding expansion for our fire department, as I stated on the first slide, we are increasing our funding to the fire department 32% to $157,200 annually for our fire department and the service that they provide to our community. Streets and sanitation, our budget is $633,796. This fund's expanded for sidewalk maintenance, curbside pickup increases, brush and limb service increases. Also begins a 5-year replacement project for our Christmas lights throughout downtown for every year during the holiday season. This project will span over a 5-year period, so the burden isn't on the town's budget for 1 year to replace all of those decorations. Building and upkeep, we do have $100,000 appropriated out of fund balance to make necessary improvements to Town Hall. And within our cemetery department, we have some tree removal and starting of a project to GIS map the cemetery to allow citizens to locate loved ones online and to be able to search for plots that they would like to purchase prior to coming to Town Hall. For Parks and Recreation Master Plan, we'll be partnering with the Western Piedmont Council of Governments to conduct that plan to identify areas of improvements for Matheson Park and Town Park, and where we can identify future parcels of land that the town may acquire to construct a sports complex in the future. We are partnering with Alexander Central High School to construct a new bathroom facility that will be ADA compliant and eliminate some security issues currently at Matheson Park. We do have now a planning and development and tourism departments within our budget, thanks to our county transition this last year to the North Carolina League of Municipalities. This includes a $250,000 fund balance allocation for the acquisition of property within the town with the goal of recruiting businesses and creating local jobs. Our tourism department will fund and continue to partner with our community festivals, support downtown business incentives to drive small business increase in economic growth within the community, and to continue to market our town as a place to do business within the region. Within our general fund, our personnel services account for 44%. It's staff salaries, health benefits, retirement, and educational incentives for professional development for our staff. 35% is our operations for day-to-day services, contracted utility support and legal projects. We also add 21% for capital projects and debt service. We have budgeted $80,000 for our Powellville street allocation. This is distributed from the state from motor fuel tax revenues. This goes to improving our 2.65 miles of municipal streets, sidewalks, and drainage structures. Our total fund budget for the water and sewer utility fund is just over $3 million. Actually, a 0.5% decrease from last year. Maintains the baseline minimum charge for our standard inside and outside customers at 1,000 gallons of usage. So there is no increase to the minimum water and sewer charge. I am proposing a 1/4 increase on tiered usage volumes above the minimum to cover operational adjustment services. So for information, the minimum charge is 1,000 gallons and under. So our next tiers are 1,001 to 5,000 gallons, 5,001 to 10,000 gallons, 2,001 to 30 gallons, 30,000 gallons, 30,001 to 250,000 gallons. So each one of those tiers above the minimum would see a 1/4 cent increase. Proposed rate and fee changes within the rate and fee schedule. For same-day service to turn your water on after 3 p.m., proposed to increase that from $15 to $50 to cover the overtime for staff to come back out. A reconnection fee from $40 to $50. If you remove one of our meters, which is illegal, it's $50 to $100. If you break our lock on our meter, increasing that from $25 to $50. If you break the setter within the meter box, increase that fee from $150 to $250. Those are all to replace that equipment and to help the town break even on purchasing the new equipment. For excessive brush pickup above what is within our ordinance that you newly adopted in May, I get increases from $75 to $100. there's an excessive bulk item pickup on your property, increase that from $100 to $150, which both of that excessive brush and bulk pickup is for the town to break even at the Alexander County landfill when we take that excessive brush and bulk to the landfill, and we have to pay for that. For our festival and vendor fees, increases to that, which will not take effect until January 1, 2027. For our event applications, it increased from $50 to $100. For food vendors, from $25 to $100. Product vendors from $10 to $50, and then for carnival rides and inflatables from $25 to $150. I will say again, I am not proposing that this take effect until January 1 of 2027 due to our Apple Festival, which is in October. We're already receiving applications and taking vendor applications for that festival, so we don't want to disrupt that festival.
So this is the fee schedule she uses at the present time?
For the private, current, yes.
Her fees there.
This is our fees that we charge.
This is not.
These are our fees, these are
Will
our,
this be in addition to her fee?
yes.
This is the money, she collects it for the town, and so the checks that we get for, I think the last one was for $2,800 for the event. She collects all that on that.
So she collects a fee and then she gives, so if a food vendor sets up at the Apple Festival, they pay her fee and then she gives the town $25 of that fee at this time.
She collects her fee plus the $25. So like a typical vendor is like $85, and then the electricity, education charges. She charges that fee, and then she has our fee incorporated into it. So they would pay 85, 10, and 25.
Okay, does this not need to include electricity then? Because you just said if that vendor needs electricity, I don't see anything on here that says electricity. So she's collecting electricity fee and keeping it?
Yes, currently.
Okay. Does it not need to be on there? I mean, it's our electricity, is it not? I'm just asking a question.
Yes, we can add to the fee schedule.
Is that part of the reason why you increased it to measure?
To cover our expenses, yes. For the
Okay.
So
festival.
he increased
Okay.
it from,
So then that way we would be recouping our cost of electricity that they're using by just increasing.
yeah.
Okay, well, I'm comfortable with that. Because it went from.
Yeah,
Okay.
which it should be.
Are you good
Will
with that?
the power on Center Street on the telephone poles, who pays for that power?
We-
So when the county was off that,
Okay, you want to proceed?
Yes. Alright. Upgrading critical infrastructure. We were awarded $15 million this past fiscal year from the North Carolina State Revolving Fund to replace aged water distribution and sewer collection system. We will be completing the Ball Payne pump station this fiscal year, which is a $1.4 million project, and replacing filling infrastructure at wastewater treatment plant. We will be continuing to replace 17-year-old failing meters utilizing our discounted warranty program through Mueller. And we are conditionally re-allowing monitored septic dumping at the wastewater treatment plant to support local septic hauling businesses. I'll now turn it over to you all for any discussion and questions on the proposed 26-27 budget.
This This is a public hearing. This is a public hearing.
Okay, I wanted to have
Would you please state your
clarification.
name and for the record?
Yeah, Shelley Sebastian. I wanted to ask a question, just for clarification, what is excessive pickup?
One truckload, right? Over
Yeah,
one
just run
truckload.
over one truckload.
Okay, and it is true that if we do our own maintenance on our yard, if we have more than one truck, you just want us to leave it there for a week? Because I don't think that we should be paying extra when you're gonna raise our taxes anyway. I mean, I don't feel like
The county increased our landfill fees by 35%. It's a bunch. It's almost double.
Okay.
So it's just recuperating what?
I understand, but I also understand that there are some things that with our tax dollars, we purchased our home in 2021. Our taxes are double what they were when we purchased our home 6 years ago. Our amenities that we receive are less. So with that said, I think a lot of people are getting maybe tired of it. We need to just have clarification of what is okay, what's not okay. Let us know if there's a reason that it's increasing instead of just increasing it. I don't think now's the time to increase taxes for anyone.
If you're maintaining your property,
Economically.
for brush and limb pickup, then it wouldn't equate to more than a truckload. If you're clearing your land for, limbs and trees, then that's over.
You've been to my house. You came to my house. We maintain ours. We've only done portions of it because you said we couldn't put out so much. That was one little area. So we're taking our time, taking our bushes out because you said we need to.
We will pick
So
up
we do
bushes.
maintain
don't pick up-
our
we don't pick up
property.
Tree trunks.
Yes, we do maintain our property, but we have a large property. So we pay quite a bit in taxes. So when you show up at our door after you pick it up to give us the information that we didn't know, and then we're in the same year getting our property tax increased or proposed to increase, I don't know that it'll pass. I mean, I want clarification on what I can and can't do when it's changing rapidly and we're paying a lot more.
Well, the town's not a tree removal service.
We don't put trees out, but if we had a tree on our property and we wanted to cut it up and put it out, I felt we should. Not a massive tree, but we weren't removing trees, we were removing brush. And our neighbors are right there, they saw it.
It's bushes.
And it was
It's
legal.
bushes and
It's not trees.
part of that was from when they came by and cut it for the power company. So part of that wasn't even ours.
The power company did you just say the power company left one of us?
I did.
Well, they've done that several times, especially on West Main.
Yeah, I did say that. So I'm asking as a member of the town that pays my taxes, I just want clarification. I want to be treated fairly. And I feel like when you're taking these things away, you're hurting these citizens. You may lose the good ones you have and be left with the ones that you don't want.
I don't think that we took anything away in the new ordinance about picking up limbs. We increased the length, we increased the load. We have a bigger truck, we just have one person.
Okay,
He
well,
needs a lift that can help him pick stuff up, like if
Yes,
there's bigger things,
they
I'm
have
pretty sure
that.
they have to send
they had
somebody
that
to
tractor.
They brought the tractor.
My point is, we've been here many years, our entire life. My husband used to work for the town. We didn't have these problems. Now, we just need clarification on what we have as a process in town paying these taxes plus the environmental fee on our water bill for just the brush. So it's not just the taxes that are covering, it's also the environmental fee. So I want clarification, and I don't think that's too much to ask for. And I really would like to remind you that these people that you're hurting now in an economic downfall, they will remember when you want to be voted back in promise you that.
Well, I would say across the board, and you, just like your house, everything has went up. Same thing here. The Republic service has increased 30-some%. The county has increased across the board the services that we contract with on
I
every
agree.
single thing.
I agree, but within
So we're
6 years.
continually, year after year, kicking from our fund.
I agree, and that's
I'm
another
not
reason that the
done.
people are strapped.
I understand that. And
I don't know
I'm one of
you
those
do.
citizens, so it's my taxes as well.
Yeah, I know, anybody on the board is in town.
Yeah.
Nathan's not, Aaron's not, Mike's not, but anyone up here, you guys are in town. You guys are voted in by us.
That's correct.
We need your help. We don't need yes men, we need your help.
I think what Eric is saying though is we can't keep absorbing all of these increases. Our fund balance can't keep absorbing all of that.
We're not asking you to, I'm asking for
Yes, you
an
are.
explanation.
If
I'm asking
we
for an
don't increase the-
explanation, and I'm asking for,
If we don't
No, I'm not
increase the
asking for-
revenue, then it continually comes out of the fund balance, and then it said we can't go over a certain amount of fund balance.
okay, then all the property that was just sold, why don't we help with that?
Why don't we do a lot of stuff, but
I'm asking.
What do you mean with the property that just sold? We weren't-
The urgent care, the 150,000 that just went out the door, what?
It did go out the door.
that's a future, do you invest your money in the future? Do you do retirement? Do you do, any investments with your person?
I don't need an economic lesson, I just
Okay.
need you to.
I'm not trying to give an
let us
economics lesson, I'm
know.
trying to talk and you're talking over me.
No,
What
we're
I'm trying to
not.
explain to you is that is an investment in the future of the town, to draw businesses, to get businesses to town. to pay
Yes, we know what
more
happened with
taxes.
economic development, we all know what happened.
What
So,
happened
we
in
do
the past, not what
know,
happened in the future, so you
Yes.
can continue to see what happened in the past, but it's not it's not what's gonna happen in the future.
no, I'm talking about the president, I don't think it's the time to raise the taxes anymore. And I think you need to clearly let us know what you guys decide that we can throw out and what we can't.
It's clearly in the ordinance.
Yes, it changed, and you're correct. So we started coming to the meeting so that we know after we got a visit from Nathan and Kelly.
And everything's increasing length, increasing size of the van.
Everything
The
happened.
truck is bigger, we're giving you more services. That's,
We didn't
It's
know we
just-
had a limit.
well, it does. So
Yes,
an extra
it is.
truck, is just covering the set. If you want to take it to the dump yourself, you're going to get those same charges. I mean, that we're just doing it to break even. There's nothing,
But adding to hers, my name's Jessica Lackey. I live on the same street. We had a couch sitting out there for over 2 weeks. That looks nasty. It looks dirty. It gets old. It kills our grass. Like, is there a list to get on, or is there not a list to get on? Because we've been told there's a list
There's
to get
not
on,
a list. There's not.
and we've been told there's not a list.
There's not.
So somebody needs to get that
There's
straight.
not a list, but remember that when I proposed that we do the 1 day a month, do the big pickup kind of thing, that would alleviate that kind of thing. So, and I think a lot of it is failed communication. I'm just saying, I think a lot of it is lack of communication or lack of education.
I mean, some of this
in
here,
that.
like,
If there was a day, like we said, on Wednesday, we were gonna do big furniture pickup or whatever the word is for the things that we pick up, refrigerators or couches or whatever, and we had a set day, then the community would know that if I set this out on Tuesday night, it should be picked up on Wednesday. And then, like he's got a set schedule to run, I mean, the town's not that big, we should be able to talk to the town
Yeah, it's not.
and see where those big items are.
It is. it
And
is
that would
a thing.
alleviate it.
I have a part-time person that does that, because even still with the tax increase and the environmental fee where it is, we don't generate enough revenue to pay the amount of staff to be able to provide more than a part-time person to pick up this stuff.
okay, I understand that, but I'm also disabled and I stay at home every single day. I literally am watching out my windows every single day. And when I don't see the truck come through for 2 weeks, and I have stuff sitting out there, That's unexcusable. Whether he's full-time or part-time, it is unexcusable. It is a service that we are paying for with our taxes, and it's unexcusable, in my opinion.
May I ask you, did you call town hall and ask them to pick it up?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
you got there.
but we should not have to call
No.
every
sometimes-
time. I mean,
Yes, and it shouldn't be an easy call.
like,
I know.
I mean, I know if you set it out there and he's done went through for the week, so be it. It'll be
this
there
was
for
set
Monday
out on
or
a
Tuesday.
Saturday. We changed the couch out on a Saturday, and we set the rest of the stuff that we had that we were getting rid of out of our house on Saturday. It was a couch and a metal chair that had broken on our porch. It was a porch furniture chair. It was small, no bigger than this right here. It swiveled, and it broke. And it's out there for 2
I will
weeks.
say that, our guy that picks up is phenomenal.
He is.
Well, I'm not beating up on him. I'm not beating
I
up
want
on
to just put
him.
that out. He is a hard worker, and I wish we had more of him, really, honestly.
Yeah, we need a few more.
But I'm just saying, like, I am there, like, I can tell you my neighborhood, like, I can read you the back of my hand. Like, I can tell you exactly who walks at what time. Yes, y'all may think I'm crazy, but that's how I am, because that's, when you, I don't know if any of y'all have ever been stay-at-home people, but I don't watch TV. I pay attention to what's going on around me. And I have a lot of time to dig up stuff. Just gonna say that.
Okay. We used to have the people go around town 5 days a week picking up limbs or whatever. We don't have that nowadays. You got more help nowadays than you had when I was on campus.
We used to have inmates.
Right.
They took it all away.
They took that away.
You talk about more services, there ain't no more services around my house. I'm here to tell you that. And the statement was made in the paper by the town manager. Tax increase because economic development. This town is not ready for economic development. There's not enough stores right now in this town, walk-in shopping stores for the general public to go and shop.
I would say for the last 30 years, if the past council would have done the correct job in the last 30 years, we wouldn't have had to pick up the weight that we have to pick up now and to fix a lot of stuff that's been left for a long time. So that's my response to that.
Well, you need to quit spending a lot of money too.
Well, you should have spent some of it on.
We did.
If you do not invest in your town, you're not gonna get anything back out of your town.
I don't see any of the property owners or the town business coming
Can I
in here.
speak? Back to the $150,000 that we just gave to the total bills and lines. That is the whole point in that. We're going to try to create revenue so that we do not have to have future increases in taxes, but that we can sustain ourselves from that revenue. If you do not bring businesses in here, you're exactly right about the businesses. No, there's not. But we're wanting to bring more in so that we can make revenue from those businesses so that we do not have to do this again.
Okay, but that still does not guarantee either that these businesses will come and stay. Because, I mean, we lost two this last week that have been here for years, and they've been just shifted out because people's money they're holding on to right now.
I don't think that one closed because they were just being shifted out, because 2 or 3 more have, like, bigger chains have come in and taken over. I mean, my mom was part of the parks development thing for years, and one of those, it wasn't a Napa, but it was another one that had multiple chains in Statesville and Troutman, and they went under when all these big chains
I wasn't
came
even
in.
referring to Napa because I know what happened to them.
But anyway,
And I'll be glad to tell anybody outside of here.
but my comment is that there is so much old infrastructure and stuff that has been ignored in this town for years and years and years. I am thankful that the state gave us the $1.5 million, the $15 million to replace the infrastructure, because there are so many issues that you can't see, and that people, the community can't see and won't see because it's underground. And a lot of that money is having to go to replace things that should have been replaced years ago. And the same thing goes for police cars and trucks that the town uses and fire trucks and everything else that we have to have. When you ignore, everything runs down at one time and you have nothing. We have to get back to where we can replace fire trucks when needed, ever so often. Which is not real often because they're like the fire trucks that we have, because I've done a lot of research on this in the last few weeks. The oldest fire truck, or the newest fire truck we have at Central is 15 plus years old. The next two behind it are 20 years plus old. We need a new fire truck because the fire department gets calls for our department plus every department around us. And additionally, we need multiple people on duty at the police department at the same time. Because when a call goes out for a fire, half the time a policeman shows up at that site before the fire truck gets there. And half the time a policeman is helping a fire department person pull the hose off the truck. I was told that by a fire person because I've talked to them. I've asked them. We cannot continue to avoid the needs. The fire department made a request, and additionally, the thing that's been left out is that the town of Taylorsville hasn't paid a true fire tax in years. Ask the people that are in the Central Fire District that extends around the town of Taylorsville, that's part of Central Fire District, how much fire tax they pay. They pay 8-cent fire tax on top of their county tax. The people in this town haven't paid a dime in true fire tax in a very, very long time.
But the town also can't operate it without a fire department.
Exactly. So we have to fund it.
Well, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think there's other ways to fund them rather than raising our taxes 6 cents during this time that we're in. I mean, what about the sports complex? Why are we looking into a sports complex?
That's coming out of other money, and it's out of fund balance, and it's to look at it, and it's the lowest thing because it's part of tourism. Why wasn't it done years ago? Why wasn't it done in revenue stream? Why wasn't it done years ago? Alexander County is the heart of baseball and softball. Why have we waited 30 years to build a sports complex?
We go everywhere else for sports and pay. We take our kids to other places. Why should instead of making
I'm going to
money
say
from
this. My sister lives in a bigger town than this one called Cameron, North Carolina. They don't even have a sports complex. And that's 45 minutes from Fayetteville.
This doesn't necessarily.
And that is a
This is not
military
necessarily for the
community.
sports complex. This is for updating Matheson Park that's run down, town park, and this is just a master plan. We have to have a master plan in place to get the fund, to get the grant funding. So we're doing a lot more in grant funding than we have ever have in the history of Taylor.
I'm pretty sure David did a lot
David did fine. I'm just saying, we have done as a board,
with grants.
and Nathan has, and Aaron and the staff here has applied for a lot more grants than they ever have in the past. I'm not down at anybody in the past for grant, but that was my main focus coming onto the board is why aren't we utilizing more grants? Why aren't we applying for more grants? That's money that somebody's
So we're
going to
gonna go with grants
somewhere.
for the complex?
Yes.
Okay, what about the $100,000 to upfit in here?
It's for expanded. We've expanded the staff in the town, so one person doesn't do everything.
No, the remodeling.
It's to the floor in there is tearing up. I mean, the floor's coming up. We're moving some offices around so it's better workflow. It's just an estimate. It's not what is going to be.
I don't think now's the time for that. I could deal with.
And that's going out.
That's not coming out of fund balance.
So that's going out of the savings account. So that's not even in
I don't think that's a good
the
idea.
budget. That's not in the budget. That's not included in the budget.
What's wrong with the floor?
I will also say this, that we remodeled our 2,400 square foot home. Yes, our 2,800 square foot home, I'm sorry. 1,400 of it being the upstairs, and when I tell you, when you walked in, we remodeled the whole entire place for less than $30,000. That was including, hold on, that was including paint, flooring throughout the whole home because it had nothing but subflooring. Having to redo both the bathrooms because they were not no toilets, no nothing.
This is simply just a number put out, where there's bids going out, so if it comes in less, it's not the necessary money well spent.
Okay, well then, one more thing.
Have to amend it later.
No, one more thing, the $50,000 to rebrand the town. So that would be $150 to redo the town hall and $50 to rebrand the town. I don't see these as real important right now. What?
It's not 50,000,
What is it?
30.
But there's 30,000 plus 20,000 attorney fees.
Right.
A
That's
total of
50.
50,000, so.
That's just because they have to create a line item in another department, so that way if we do any type of legal work or economic development or any type of tourism project, and we need legal work done for that, we have to have a line item within that department where we can code those expenses to. So we can't have it in another department. When we turn in our annual audit, then we get dinged for that, for paying for stuff out of the wrong department. So they have to separate those duties.
May I make a comment? And Aaron, can you put up page number 5? I just want to make a comment about page number 5 on our budget there. It shows all of the expenditure, total expenditures just so everybody understands what's before us here. And I think that's on the first page of what you all have, but it's page number 5 for ours, and it shows an increase fund balance. We're spending fund balance to the tune of it's more than we've ever budgeted. It goes from like 5,800 all the way to over 600,000. And then when you go down and you look at buildings, that's 301%. And then you go down to police, that's a 15%, and we're getting ready to spend $1.7 million on police this year. And streets and sanitation is going to go up 22%. Parks and recreation are going to go up 313%. The cemetery is going to go up 163%. Planning and development is going to go up 661%. And the next one below that's 249%. And public safety is going to go up 31%.
I would just like to say real quick, those large increases for planning and development and tourism, is because those are new departments within the budget. So those were not in the budget last year. So the percentage increases are so large because all of that functions and expenditures were in miscellaneous governmental operations in previous budgets. So now they're broken out in individual departments. So we have to show that they were zero last year because we didn't have those departments. So now that we're putting thousands of dollars in those departments, it shows such a large percentage increase.
No. Well, I just wanted to make sure that the public understood those numbers there that weren't discussed during the time that the presentation was made.
I think just transparency for us is a big thing. Because when we go from paying $2,500 to $5,000, and then it's going to go up more, and that's just on our tax bill, I want some clarification. I
I think this is written very transparent. I mean, I think that's the whole reason that it's done this way, is
Well,
because
it's
of
wrong. I'm
transparency.
confused. I
Is
want
because
somebody
it
to-
was hidden in previous budgets under different things and then moved around and manipulated with budget amendments.
Okay.
And so therefore, now there are new line items created so that you can see exactly where those items are going.
I'm still gonna look at it because it seems like funny stuff to me, but I'm just gonna go through it, look at it, and see if I understand it. If I don't, then I'll ask, I'll call next time. I don't have a problem doing that. But I do feel like, living here, I don't get as much as I did in history, and we moved here to be with our family. And I have a problem with raising those taxes.
We don't have the tax base of Hickory.
I know.
Nowhere close.
No, you're exactly right. Exactly right.
And until we reinvest in our community and have controlled growth, here's the other thing. We have to do it, and we have to do it in a very smart way. We don't want to do it like Mooresville and be so overgrown that
Well,
we
they didn't take
can't.
care of the infrastructure. We're not taking care of any of that. I haven't seen anything about the water meters or the water hydrants that have black bags in my neighborhood.
That's a part of the $15 million state revolving fund lead project. I think there's
To fix
all
fire hydrants.
When will that be fixed?
All of those will be fixed, part of that $15 million.
Okay, when?
18 to 36 months.
Okay. Well, I mean, just things like that are things that the town people who actually live in town are questioning. We're wondering. We're talking to neighbors. We're all communicating. And, you know, across the board, different neighbors in Northwood are only what I can talk about. We wonder, what can we put out? Every time we put something out, it's the wrong thing. And it doesn't matter if it's our house, it's just brush that we did ourselves. It wasn't trees. At the end of the road, somebody put carpet out, they were told they couldn't have that. I mean, we just need to know what we can do and what we can't do, and decide whether it's worth being here paying the taxes, or if it's worth selling and going somewhere else. I mean, that's basically where I'm at.
Also, one thing on the fire hydrants,
Yeah.
there's 7 fire hydrants back in all of the downtown.
One's at my house, I'll stare at it every day.
There's 2 of them that don't function. The other 5 leak when they don't seal off completely. So the caps are on tight so that they don't leak. The bags are on there mainly so the fire you can hydrant. It's just a matter of not testing.
It's not gonna have the pressure, right?
Yes, it will have the pressure. There's only 2 that's not functioning. One's right here and one's at the town shop. Those are the only 2 that are non-functioning.
Okay,
The rest of
so,
them
well,
just drip.
I
They
think
won't shut off.
Again?
So the caps are screwed tight so that they won't drip.
that's fine. When they have black bags on them, they look like they're out of service.
They are, they got glass back.
I'd like to say something.
Yeah, please.
I've been to many public hearings, and I've never been to a public hearing where somebody didn't come up, speak, say what they had to say, and then sit down. I've never been to a public hearing where people sit in the office, audience, and conversed with the council. I live in Northwood. I have never had a problem getting my stuff picked up. We put it out there, and it's almost the next day it's gone. I also want to say something that I think has been said here that was wrong, and that is, I think we have many more new businesses in the town of Taylorsville. I come by on Saturday, people are coming in and out of those shops carrying bags, and so I don't care if you agree with me or not. It's my opinion.
You are right. And they're coming from everywhere.
And we
I
want
see
to
it.
continue that.
Right.
That is what we are trying to do because that is what we ran on. That's what we heard. We want to see more business, we want to see parking, we want to see our town thrive, and that is what we ran on.
I want to make one more comment because I know what you're getting ready to do. I would like to praise Nathan for putting this budget together. I would have voted yes for it when it came out at 8%. And I know most of you sitting out there disagree with me. But I feel like our police department needs it, our fire departments need it, you need it, whether you believe me or not. And the only way for us to make change is to get involved and support all the people that have been coming to all these meetings for over a year. This budget was built around those meetings with the people from the community that come in here and have been answering questions and putting into it month after month after month. And he addressed the needs and the things that those people put into those products that we built from all those meetings. And most of the board was involved in most of those meetings. Tamara's been involved in probably 98 or 100% of them. And they're still open. They're town halls. We're having them monthly. Be there. Come, voice your opinion. Tell us what you like and what you don't like, because that's what he used to draft this budget.
Okay, Jacob, you got it.
Yeah, just real quick. I would like to thank my staff to the left and the right of me, and in the back of the room, all of them, officers back there. I think they are some of the greatest people that I've ever had the opportunity to work for. I'm very proud of them, the work that they put in each and every day in service to the community. So thank you all for everything that you do. I appreciate you.
And what we tried to do was to have a casual discussion in this public hearing. And so if everybody's satisfied, unless you have something to come before I close the public hearing. Just state your name, Ricky.
Ricky Hammer, he's talking about the brush. Duke Fire cut some on our property, and I asked them to grind it, or not grind it up, but to take the chipper and chip it up. And what they done is, the only thing they done is took a bush hog and just slung it everywhere and made a mess. That's all it is. And my second thought thing is the easy one for y'all. If you're about 75, 85 years old, just the rest me on it. What is it going to do to help the town citizens if you raise taxes? I mean, I'm just asking if anybody's got an answer. How is it going to help them? I mean, I know you're improving services and repairing and doing all, but what's it going to do to them? Because they're on, I mean, if you're on Social Security, you're hurting.
The answer to that is that they can apply for a homestead exemption at the county. And sometimes they'll be granted a homestead exemption regarding their income. And that income is set by state law. You know, it's not, it doesn't vary by counties. The town of Taylorsville has a very poor population. And you're exactly right. We don't know what it's going to do to them, but the homestead exemption is a way that they can go.
And there's a lot of elderly people in this county.
Yeah.
But anybody else got an answer?
Thank you. So, seeing anyone else, then I'm going to close the public hearing, and we're going to go to item number 9, which is the proposed budget ordinance. And that requires a motion for this proposed budget before us.
Now make a motion that we adopt the budget ordinance.
Second.
Motion's been made and a second. Is there any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. And any opposed?
Opposed?
That is so that motion is so ordered because of the number of people that voted for it. So we'll go to item number 10, which is the fee schedule resolution. And Nathan?
I don't have any more to comment on the fee schedule. Everything else remained the same.
So we have to adopt the resolution regarding this fee schedule.
Make a motion to adopt the fee schedule.
Second.
Motion been made and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Anyone opposed to that? Okay, so, Kimberly, would you talk with us about all of these budget amendments? And I believe that we've agreed that we have to go with a motion for every one of them separately.
Yeah.
I believe we agreed with that. Go ahead, please.
Okay, bear with me. Okay, so the first one is for the urgent care asset stuff. We're requesting some line items to be covered that were for the urgent care previously. Costs like attorney fees, rental property fees, which was expenses, during the urgent care, how we owned it. And then we need to also do part-time wages for cemetery. That is just during a coding issue, we need a item for that. And then streets, we need supplies for $5,000 for the graphics for the veteran banner. And then police, we're asking for that there are line items of capital outlay for radar. There's 4 of them that they're requesting, and that totals in.
Okay, so this is the first budget amendment.
Yes.
Do we have a motion on that?
Motion to adopt the budget amendment.
Motion been made and second. Any more questions or discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? No one is opposed.
The next one is also for the rest of the urgent care asset proceeds, we need to approve to transfer to the fund balance, the remaining balance of those funds.
Motion to adopt the budget amendment.
May I ask, how much is that total?
$156,652.09.
Need a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the budget amendment.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Is there any questions or discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Like sign, no one is opposed. Kimberly, please again. Go ahead.
The next one is for a grant that we have for, the wastewater treatment plant solar improvements. We need to do a budget amendment for the county for, to cover the rest of the costs on the last, expenditures. And it's, gonna come out of water and sewer capital outlet lay and then miscellaneous expenses out of general fund. So we have to do this in order to close out the project, or we can't close it out.
What was the project?
The plant solar improvements.
At the wastewater
Aaron
treatment
made up
plant?
one.
Okay. Motion to adopt the budget amendment.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Like sign, no one is opposed.
Okay. The second and last one is increase in expenditures on the police vehicle maintenance repairs. This is only because there was an accident and we got insurance money. So we just need to increase that line item to cover that cost. But we got revenue back for it.
Make a motion to adjust.
Second motion.
Motion been made and a second. Is there any more discussion, question? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed, like sign. No one is opposed. Last one.
The last one, this is a revenue increase, so we need to up our supply, line item in street fund. This was for the banners. So this is just proceeds that we got, but in order to pay these banners invoice, we need to up the line item. Have an action that we approve the budget amendment.
Second.
Motion been made and a second, and I'll make a comment regarding that. I think that we got more positive comments about that than almost anything we've ever done. And that was well accepted by everyone, and I think it's to the point now that we're having to close down the orders until we can sort of catch up because of the number of poles and the number of brackets. But I will, any more comments that you want to make about this budget amendment? If not,
These are the veterans banners you're talking
Yes.
about. I think they're fantastic. Thank you for doing that.
I think, how many more coming?
46.
The second order was the biggest order, correct?
42.
Is that a new order or one to come?
New order, one to come.
No, the most recent order was 42.
The first order was
12.
So when the first order's up, the second one will be up by
July 4th.
I hope it's July 4th, depending on ship. They're supposed to get here before July 4th, and we hope to have them up for the July 4th.
And people are purchasing those, right?
yeah.
Right, that's why we had to do the budget amendment to show that we took that money in and then we expended it out to the companies.
Great idea. I'd like to do a story on that. I think that's a great idea.
Okay, with that, any more comments? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed, like sign. No one is opposed to that. So staff reports, our chief of police, Mike Millsaps.
Thank you. I'll start you out with some numbers. We had 1,319 calls for service this month, 68 incident reports. We stopped 116 vehicles, wrote 76 citations, 11 felony packets, 2 DWI, and arrested 30 people this month. As far as drugs we collected 28 grams of marijuana, 1.3 grams of cocaine. And that was just some of the things we did. Good solid work from our detective. We were able to finally get the guy who broke into a home on 2nd Street a little bit earlier. Just took a little bit of time to work it through. You know, it's not 48 hours like on TV. It's not gonna happen. She worked hard, did a good job, and not only that, but a lot of larcenies in the businesses here in town, where a lot of those arrests come from too. We gave away a Upstanding Citizen Award to a 5th grade student at Tellsville Elementary. This award we try to get out every year because when I was coming through, a police officer did something for me that made me want to be a police officer. So we're just trying to put it out there early. We're planting our seeds early, hoping we get some growth from it. So we're excited about that. Graduation went well at the high school on May 22nd. It went indoors, so you know how that was. You can't please everybody when you're trying to put a billion people in one arena, so it's just that's not ever going to be that simple. We continue to post our arrests on our webpage. Also, we put on there scam alerts. If you'll pay attention to those, there's a lot of scam alerts we give you updates on. Traffic situations we give you updates on. And safety tips on our Facebook page. So we encourage you, if you got any questions, to take a look at that. There's a lot of comments that come off of it. We generally don't respond to any of those. It's an automatic response that comes up on that page. But we do read them, and we do take them to heart. If you do put something on there, we will look at it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, for the finance department, the audit was submitted to the LGC, the week of May 18th. LGC is still reviewing that. And then we also put out the RFQ for audit. We put that out last week. So hopefully we get some back. They have till the end of June to submit their proposals to us.
End of June?
Yes.
Thank you. Aaron White.
Public Works wise, we've made, 2 service line repairs. One was on the curb on Polk Street over, right there at the Memorial Weekend holiday, and we have one following on 7th Street. Those 2 have been repaired and fixed. The sidewalk project on First Avenue is nearing completion. I think it's looking very well. After that project's completed, we'll assess how much money is left for any further projects that may be available to do with the funding. That is just about wrapping up the 1.5 million that we have for streets and sidewalks project. They have added the gravel on the shoulders down Princeton and First Avenue, completing those resurfacing projects. As mentioned before, the first batch of banners have been hung. Staff done really well on getting those up, and so we look forward to the next batch coming in, and hopefully working our tails off the last week before we feel like other than that, that's all I've got.
That sidewalk's almost complete, that first one.
Is that the residue from the 1.5 million?
Yes.
And we recognize Nicole Mays. This will be the last meeting that she'll be with us. She's taking a job with Samaritan Spurs in Wilkesboro. Her home down is Wilkesboro, so you'll be missed. Thank you for your service to the town and time that you caught on to everything and did well. Thank you so much. Now the town manager's report.
Yeah, thank you, Nicole, for all your hard work. You truly will be missed, but we'll pray for you and wish you the best of luck in your new position. Thank you for all of your hard work. You really have helped me out a lot and helped the town out a lot, so thank you so much. I just have one thing. We did kick off our SRF Helene Water Project today. We had our kickoff meeting with Withers right now, our engineering firm for that. So we went over the scope of that project and all of our different milestones. So what we talked about tonight, the fire hydrants and all of the water line replacements and needed upgrades. That project has started. So it's officially underway, and we have looked at increasing the scope for the culvert expansion at Matheson Park and increasing the recreational amenities down there at the park, and just how we can prevent further erosion to the creek through Matheson Park and be able to preserve that area in the future and improve that roadway there for not only motor vehicle traffic but for pedestrians and park goers. Again, thank you to my staff and the team here. They do a great job, and I'm very proud of them.
Thank you. And now council general discussion.
If you don't mind, Mayor. My reason for voting no, I don't think I owe an explanation, but I am going to share it. Our town has a lot of widows, and they're on fixed incomes. And to me, putting that burden on them is going to hurt them a lot. And I think we need to come up with other ideas. The 1.5 million that we got to do the sidewalks from Food Line down to Kentucky Fried Chicken and all this other stuff, we got from the state of North Carolina from our representative. You know, those are the people that we need to be spending more time requesting money to help out Taylorsville. I'm not against Taylorsville. I live here. I always wanted to live in Taylorsville when I was a young boy. We moved back in '85. But I don't think this is the right time. But it's been passed, and so I support the board's decision. But that's why I voted no for it.
Thank you.
I would say I voted for it, obviously, and the reason for it, I was against it. It made sense. Still, I pay the tax. I pay taxes just like everybody else does, and my wife is mad at me for the voting for the tax increase. So, but I see behind the scenes the stuff that Total is getting ready to experience, and hopefully in the future with the alliance and the things we can keep that tax rate at bay. That's the hope. I don't like tax. I do not like tax increases. And you can ask these guys. It was a struggle, but the increases that we're taking out of fund balance, just to explain, does not affect the budget. That's one-time purchases such as the renovations and all the stuff. It's fund balance. Just the daily operation of the budget, that's the increase, and that's the trash pickup that the public's went up, the landfill fees, just across the board, everything that's went up, as well as everybody else. Me and you at home has increased grocery bills, and it's a hard thing. It's a hard time right now. It is. It's just a tough decision, and if you want to vote me out, then that's your right. That's absolutely your right. 2027 is coming around. If you want to be a part of the council, run. I encourage you to. It's an eye opener. It's been a privilege to serve on this board, to get to know these guys, and the hires that we've had made in the last 3 years, man. It's been a positive thing, but it comes with a cost. And yes, I'm proud of the funds that the state has awarded us through the grant programs, and like I said, $15 million just recently to get new water lines down through town, and increasing through the Alliance. That money is a investment to the town, so we can keep that tax rate low, and hopefully we can recruit the right businesses downtown, the right business in town, period. So I'm excited for the future of Telephone. I'm excited for what we're doing. I'm not ashamed of what we're doing, and that's a good thing. And as far as transparency, it's lined out. It's laid out more than it's ever in the budget. I'll be happy to talk to anybody. I'm not mad at anybody. I hope there's no hard feelings. Anybody, if you want to speak to me, you're welcome to come. I'll talk to anybody, any place, anytime. I answer any questions. I think we're the most transparent we've been in a long time, so that's all I got.
Everything.
Okay, go ahead.
I second everything that Eric has said. This was not a frivolous decision. This was going back and forth, bringing it to the table, starting over several times. I don't know how many times we did this, and then hash it out. Taking away things that could be taken away, but things that are, just like he said, these are just everyday operational expenses. Due to the fact everything has increased. I don't want to see our town decay. I don't want to see our town die. But if we do not invest in it, and if we don't keep putting into it, we're not going to get anything out. And it's going to eventually just not exist. And that's a fact. I have a passion for this town. This is my town. And I love it. And I Absolutely not. I don't. But I don't see that there was any other, as many times as we've gone through this, there's just not an alternative to it, unfortunately. However, for the future, with us having the TDA and having some revenue build up, which is what we're trying to achieve, is that going to happen overnight? No, it isn't. It takes a long time to get anything accomplished. It does. Unfortunately, I'd love for it to happen overnight, but it doesn't happen that way. It's growing pains, but you have to go through some growing pains to get where you want to go to, and what you want to see done. And that's where we're at right now. I mean, that's another fact. But my main focus for this was another thing that I ran on was public safety. And fire and police is something that is a non-negotiable with me. And that was one of the reasons, that was one of my main reasons for this. But the rest of it was just merely, like Eric said, operational, just everyday expense. Everything has gone up. And that's sad, but that's just a fact of the matter.
Thank you.
I agree with everything both of them said, and in addition to that, I would like to say that George made the comment to me the other day that we are a manager council town. And that forever, we've put our trust in the manager. And I think we have hired a phenomenal manager that is well educated and knows what needs to be done. And he has spent 2 years trying to get us to this place. And there was a lot of stuff that needed addressing. And he has done a phenomenal job doing that. And I do trust him. And that is why I said, if he said we needed 8, then I believed him. But, you know, people kept pushing to cut. And so we're here with 6. And did we want to do it? No. But we had to do it. So.
Thank you.
Let's say, Chief, I want to thank you for having your officers here. It is good to be in this meeting and having our police officers here in our meeting. Thank you for doing that.
Thank them. Don't think they're coming on their own will. We're just trying to build a department who wants to be here, and they're concerned about what's going on in their town, because this is their town, and you see the numbers that they put up. And that's not just some of the time. That doesn't count all the things that an officer does, even when he's off. And that probably goes the same for the fire department as well. It's a service job. We know we don't get the money that we should get, but nobody really joined the police department to get money. You join it because you are a service person, and your heart is built on giving, and that's what they do.
All right. Our next meeting, work session is Tuesday, June the 16th at 2 p.m. in this room. The regular meeting next is August the 4th. A reminder that we have no meeting in July or work session in July. Our regular meeting is Tuesday, August the 4th at 5:30 p.m. in this room. And we'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion. Yeah. All in favor say aye. Aye. We're adjourned.
Oh, hey. I guess you
Road panel, this is our town attorney. This is his last meeting. He is retiring from the town, and we'd just like to say thank you to you, Monroe, for your service to the community.
Thank you, John.
I was holding out
Been late on
We saw Jason Friday night.
That's actually I was very honored. But I realized
for future reference, things that discussion.
Works both ways, doesn't it? Yeah.
That's always.
They're all affected by the water. And they're always vetting, they're vetting the market. You know, they're always edging the market. Yeah, I really, which we're working on. I'm trying to get back to the very bottom. I'm trying to build a fine for the same lake.
The reason why I love those names, my clone that I've been wearing for over 30 years is Paul Smack. But you guys blocked off in chunks at 31st.
And Airbnb, the location was perfect for an Airbnb. And I was working with an investor, somebody that's trying to get an Airbnb.
I got the phone.
I didn't have access to that.
Well, that's just like when Nancy was shooting half stuff. But I'm sure.
I got the same market for it, so I'm just going to do it. I've been furnishing and trying to get rid of it.
I stayed with a host family.
I can tell you this, one thing I learned is
Well, it's actually.
It's a weird thing. I used to know.
This will give you a break so that you can concentrate.
If I can ever do anything.
That's
what I'm here for, at least another year.
That's all we can do.
That's Mr. Reynolds. And, I went in there, we're doing some work on the outside, on the roof.
That's who we were not. We're working out people coming in town. Which I'm saying that. It's, that's been my thing. Okay.
And when did you get right
She said, and they compare they compare to I was to make it that they got and now
well, that's all
amazing. We have a fireplace going, around the window.
Is that thing?
No, they didn't.
You put a ton of insulation in it.